Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing my review for Attack on Titan season 2, episode 7. And I guess I'll start off by addressing the elephant in the room, which is the CGI that was used on the Colossal Titan in this episode. And to be honest with you, it isn't bad. Or to put it into perspective, it's not as bad as some other anime that have used it all the time. Berserk, Kingdom, I'm looking at you, motherfuckers. But yeah, compared to those shows and other shows like other shows out there that have used the whole concept of CGI. I don't think Attack on Titan is the worst. I think it's the least. I think it's the least bad use of CGI. Like they use it a lot less. Like honestly, they've really only used it for the Colossal Titan. And honestly, I think as long as they keep it to I think as long as they keep the whole concept of CGI onto the Colossal Titan alone, I'm fine with it honestly. And I guess I wouldn't mind if they used it every once in a while on the nameless random Titans. But yeah, it's not as bad as what others are going to make you guys assume it is. But trust me, it is still pretty. It isn't bad. In fact, I think the best use of it for me, honestly, on the Colossal Titan was in that last was on that last scene. But we'll get to that later. Um, Now, other than that, animation, other than the sole CGI bit, animation, it's as a whole was on fucking point this week. Like every bit of animation was just amazing to me. Um, also the music was on point in this episode as well. Like I think my favorite my favorite point my favorite point for the music in this episode was definitely the music when we were going to the whole flashback of Aaron's of the whole of the scouts of the training cadets days at the Academy of Training and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely like the music in this one as well. Pacing, I will admit that one was a little dragged down, but only a couple of the a couple set of flashback segments. Mainly for me, it was the ones where showcasing like Reiner, like that one flashback from season 1 where we're showing Reiner, Bertolt, Armin, and Eren walking through the woods. I felt that one was maybe a little unneeded, but other than a few flashbacks having to do with that, I felt it was actually a really good episode in terms of pacing wise, honestly. Um, Also, getting back, when we get back to the present of it all, one thing I did like in this episode for sure is that is how in when the Scouts are engaging the Colossal Titan in battle, they think it's going to be just hunky dory because even though like they said he is strong, he does have the weakness of being slow and of being not the slowest of the Titans, of course. Um, Even though he does have the destructive force, of course. Um, I feel what that whole I feel that in a way, like when we see this Scots attacking the Colossal Titan, and then Bertold using his steam ability in order to almost form a bit of a protective shell of steam around him in order to protect him from ODM gear. I feel that was good in showing how Bertolt is how smart Bertolt is, but by letting off that steam in using it as a protective shell in battle. Because before we've always seen him use it in order to escape, but here he was actually using it in battle. And I really like how it was showing how even though Bertolt does like to escape a lot, he does have the smarts in order to use his hidden form in battle as well, even though he is the slowest, in order to compensate for how slow he is in his Titan form. So yeah, I definitely I like that. I like that a lot. How it's showing how even though he's a scaredy cat, he is a good tactician as well. Um, Also, Connie. Okay, first Aaron was a dumbass in the last episode. Now Connie, like, okay, I get okay. In Kanye's case, I'm willing to give him a little more leeway, considering it was established in the early parts of episode 1 that he wasn't the brightest bulb in the brightest bulb out there. But seriously, Reiner, he was asking where Reiner and Bertoldo are, and Akane, you can't put two and two together. Reiner and Bertoldo have disappeared. The Colossal and the Armored Titan have appeared. So seriously, put two and two together, dumbass. Reiner and Bertold are the Colossal and the Armored Titan, dumbass. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna harp on that one, but yeah, Connie, you are a fucking dumbass beyond belief. Um, another thing I like is how it's funny during this whole like it was mainly a battle, but there were a lot of good bits in this episode that really made it shine for me. One of those, of course, is one of those for me, of course, is how even though one of those for me is, of course, even though Eren blames Reiner and Bertold for all the misfortune in his life, he still seems to have somewhat of a glimmer of respect for them. It's it's very small, very faint, because most of the time Eren is just saying he wants to kill them, but it's almost through. Even though I said that they did kind of slow the pacing down, it is through mainly a couple of these flashbacks that it is through a lot of these flashbacks that it does show he does still hold some kind of manner of respect for them, which I do like a bit that even though that it doesn't show that Aaron isn't just kind of like I want to kill them all, like he actually much like Annie he does he much like how his fight with Annie he still does show a bit of a glimmer of respect for Renner and Bertolds, even if they are the bad guys in a way. But I don't know, something is off here. Like I know, like with Attack on Titan, nothing is as it seems, and I get the feeling even though they do want to capture Eren for some reason, I get the feeling it's not as black and white as it appears on paper, honestly, or as Eren makes it appear. So yeah. Also, in one of the flashbacks where we see the scouts training and Aaron wanting to learn the whole move of how to make people give up. The scene where of how to pin a person down and how to make him give up. The scene where Mikasa enters and she's like, I want to learn it too, with the whole face of "you better stay the fuck away from my man." That shit was fucking hilarious. Like, I love how protective Mikasa, how hilarious it is, how hilariously protective Mikasa is. Like, it's supposed to come off as serious, but a lot of the times with the way she basically says shit now, it's like, yeah, it's fucking hilarious to see her with those straight scary faces and just straight supposedly scary faces and like, yeah, this Mikasa just it almost like Mikasa wanted to learn the techniques only so Annie could stay the fuck away from her man, kind of thing. So I gotta commend her for at least laying her territory, but it was fucking hilarious as hell, honestly. Um, but the one thing that is interesting about that whole scene about Aaron learning how to pin a person or how to make a person pin a person down and make them give up is that it is kind of cool how even though Annie was an enemy in the end, Aaron still used that move in order to pin Reiner down, which also entered into something else interesting in this episode, which is um it seemed now it could just be because they were both in Titan form, but I don't. But I think it's more than that. But it seems that even though Reiner's armored Titans, even though the skin on Reiner's armored Titan form appears to be impregnable, it does. We see in this episode that it was cracking under the excessive force that Eren was applying in that move he was using, in that whole pinner submission hold he was using. But and the thing about it is, even though it is a simple thing, I think this does open up the possibility of developing some kind of weapon beyond just the blades of the 3D maneuver gear in order to use against the armor titan, because if like I said, it is shown that under excessive force, the armor titan's hardened skin is going to crack. So I think if the scouts could apply that kind of knowledge of excessive force being applied to the armor titan skin, I think that could be used in order to develop a very powerful weapon in order to use against him. So I bet you that that's what's going to happen here. Honestly. Also, when Hanji was talking to Eren and she was discussing the whole strategy of what to do against Reiner, I like how when Eren basically accepted the whole idea, Hanji blushing was random but funny as fuck. Like that and Mikasa's whole death glare in the flashback. Those two moments were just amazing for me. Like amazingly funny. Like yeah, even though it was serious, this episode did have a few funny moments. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Also, just judging from the way the episode ended, I got a bad feeling that Eren is going to be kidnapped in the next episode. If at least if the ending was any indication. I now that actually opens up the question as to why exactly that they want Eren. Like, I assume I assume it has something to do with his Titan form, and if that's the case, I bet Grisha Aaron's father is somehow connected to exactly why both Reiner and Bertold want Aaron so badly. Like, and yeah, but yeah, obviously there's something different about Aaron's Titan form because, like I said I think it was in the couple either in the last review or the couple episodes ago, the whole thing with Aaron's Titan form when Aaron's Titanform went into that flaming rage mode in season one, I bet it's connected to that somehow. But I bet if anything, it's connected to that somehow. But yeah, they probably want that power for some reason or another. But yeah, guys, that's my review of Attack on Titan season 2, episode 7. An awesome, action-packed, and great episode this week, and also with a lot of heart to it. I can't wait to see what the next episode is gonna bring. Like seriously, I've been watching these episodes with every time a buddy of mine comes over, we do like to watch these episodes. But yeah, again, awesome episode. And if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Deathmatch MMA, signing off. Later, guys.